Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Swan.
It's the Flow Show, no filter.
Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, baby. Giving you these thoughts, views, and opinions, making sure backsides covered, no Diddy. Shout out to the Wake and Bakers and the Coffee Crew. From YouTube to Spotify, I love all my subscribers. Can't forget about the trolls in the comments. Thank you for putting extra eyes on the content. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in.
Wake up. What's going on, y'all?
Swan.
The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, no filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Roll call. Who we got in here? Grandma Kathy, Elise, Enoch, D, C Tuck, Laura. The gang is pouring in. Come in. We got a good one for you today. Island Girl 23, Anita, Monica, Lazy Baby. Oh, y'all came in for this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, what a day. Got a couple explosive stories we got to go over today. Tupac. Is justice for Tupac actually coming? Because I'm hearing word that Diddy, it's a strong chance that Diddy is going to have to testify in the Tupac, Keefe Tupac unaliving case. Let me be careful. Things, it's so quiet. I believe sometime in the near future, things gonna get real crazy for y'all boy Diddy, aka the Diddler, aka Mohawk Diddy, aka Itty Bitty Diddy with the Tootsie Roll. Also, shout out to Grandma Kathy. The grand jury has finally officially named David the number one suspect. I told Grandma Kathy late February that the grand jury was meeting. We just had to wait on them. And they came through with the goods. What's up, 64 Jose? 64 San Jose, I see you. I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. A lot of people, the number one thing that people are saying when it comes to the David situation, what's up, Portia? The number one thing people are saying when it comes to the David situation is finally. Finally, nobody knows why it took so long. Why is it so complicated? Why? Simply, why did it take so long? I mean, it seemed like an open and shut case found in his car. He's not cooperating. He's singing on tour. And a woman that we have plenty of, well, I keep saying a woman, a girl, that we have plenty of evidence that he's been dating, which this girl is not of age. With all that evidence, we gotta complete a Rubik's cube and write out a dissertation and go through a 20-step, 50-step process to get a freaking charge, or not even a charge. We don't got that yet, but just to name him a suspect. Now, I know people are gonna say they taking their time and blah 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 blah, but I feel like letting David roam the streets and roam around unsupervised has allowed him to cover up a lot of evidence. But we're gonna talk about all of that today. Let's just see how the fam is doing. And did I miss any name? Hey, Fire Glory in here, Miss Sweet too. Let's see. We're gonna do a little hood vote, a little community vote. Y'all want to go into David first, or y'all want to go into Diddy testifying at this Tupac unaliving trial? Put a 1 in the chat for David, 2 for Diddy testifying for Tupac. 1 in the chat if you want to talk about David first, 2 in the chat if you want to talk about Diddy testifying in the Tupac case. I know Grandma Kathy's got all 1s. I see a lot of 1s. Whole lot of 1s. The 1s have it. So without further ado, let's get into this. Fire Glory said 1 and 2. Let's get into this, David. Then we're gonna go into the Tupac, maybe finally getting some justice, and Diddy might actually get caught up in that mess. Well, we also gonna get into the hidden romance that was discovered on Reddit for David too. But first, let's get into the real part. The grand jury naming him a suspect. We're gonna take this from Billboard. David confirmed as target of murder investigation over Celeste Rivas' body found in his Tesla. The teenager body was discovered in a car registered to the singer in September. New court documents show that David is the official target of an active grand jury that is probing the death of a teenage girl whose body was discovered in the singer's car this past fall. Rumors have swirled for months that a Los Angeles grand jury is hearing evidence about the death of a 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose remains were found in an impounded Tesla registered to David in September. In such proceedings, prosecutors present evidence to lay people who decide whether or not charges are warranted. Now, there are so many different layers to this story. I still don't know what's taking them so long, but let's continue into this. Grand jury proceedings are secret. And until recently, There were no public documents confirming whether the romantic homicide singer, real name David Burke, was a target of the investigation. Well, that has now been changed. With the revelation of documents filed by David's family members seeking to avoid traveling from their home in Texas to California to testify for the grand jury. Now, the family is trying to duck the smoke. Petitions filed this month by David's parents, Colleen and David Burke, Dawood Burke, and his younger brother Caleb, attached subpoenas for a case titled People of the State of California versus David Burke. In previously sealed documents, prosecutors from LA County District Attorney's Office specifically described David as a target of investigation for potential murder charges. It is alleged in this case that the target may be involved in the death of a 14-year-old victim, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who may have been the victim of foul play. Wrote prosecutors, her severely decomposed, dismembered body was found in the front trunk of David's Tesla on September 8th. The petition also reveals some disturbing details about the state of the body when it's discovered by police officers following reports of a strong odor coming from the impounded car. According to the documents, the car contained 2 separate black body bags, one with a decomposed head and torso, and another with severed arms and legs. This is brutal. This is horrific. Do y'all understand? He sawed, allegedly him or someone, sawed this poor girl's arms and legs off. Put her in a body bag. And the fact that she was in body bags definitely makes me think it's premeditated. And there was more evidence that it was premeditated, or not evidence, but the grand jury believes this was premeditated. A Texas appeal court is still considering whether to order the Burke family to testify in the David investigation. No charges have been filed in the case so far. This is another thing that I don't get, y'all. I need y'all help. I need y'all to make this make sense to me. What is so, and I understand about taking your time and this and that, but why wouldn't you have the family testify? Think about it. If the family was around, which they have proof, there is a video that shows David and his family and Celeste at one of David's shows, one of his concerts. And even David's sister performed at this concert. Now, what does this mean, or what does this show? This shows that the family absolutely knew David was dating a child. Now, we speaking about David's family. We're not speaking about her family just to avoid any confusion, just in case anybody think when we say family, we're talking about David's family. David's family, his sister, his rest of his family was seen in video with David and this child. So what do you mean the Texas jury is trying to decide if they want to call David's family? Of course you would. They are, I don't care. I've been covering stories. I've covered, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. At this point, I've covered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe 1,000 criminal stories at this point in my career. And I've never seen this much questioning and taking forever. And they didn't even take this long on Diddy. Once it got rolling, they were rolling. Like, what do you mean you trying to figure out if the family? Yes. You definitely have to establish that David was dating this child. And what better way to establish it than having to have his family testify and confirm it? Like, who is this guy? What are we doing here? Who is this guy, David? Where they are, it's like law enforcement is walking on eggshells. Like I said, I'm gonna repeat it. I understand being cautious and making sure you don't fuck up the investigation. But then there's also, you could be too cautious. You could be getting too cute, too precise, and allow criminals, especially criminals with money and power, to cover up so many tracks that by the time you get to the case, they done got rid of all kind of evidence. They have came together and figured out an airtight alibi. Am I wrong? Think about how long this has been going on, y'all. I understand careful, but this has been going on. When did this, can somebody in the chat, I don't want to say it, but did this case start? Did we find out about this? When did we find out about this girl? Let me find out. I don't want to say the wrong information. When did we first learn about Celeste Rivas' death and tied to the singer David? When, what month and year did this break? I just don't want to say it. I think I know the date, but I don't want to put out misinformation. I thought it was September. Okay. Guys, they discovered Celeste's decomposed body on September 8th, 2025. October, November, December, January, February. We are going on 6 months. Let me say it again so the people doing this investigation so they can hear me. They might not hear me. I need to say it again. We are going on 6 months on a case that just from the internet and just from our own digging and research from the privacy of our home, there is so much circumstantial evidence that points at David. How are we 6 months in talking about the Texas jury is trying to decide if they want to call his family in to testify? We're 6 months in and they are just now saying that we are naming him a suspect. Something stinks. Something ain't right. I don't give a damn. This isn't one of those cases where we don't have anything to go on. We don't have any information. We don't have any information tying him to Celeste. We don't have any evidence. We don't have any body. We don't like you would think we didn't even have a body. We didn't have it wasn't in his car. Like, what the hell? My girl Tabitha said, it takes time to build a case. Let a dead body be found in my car. Let's see how long it takes them to build the case. Let a dead body be found in my car of a person that I'm seeing immediately. The minute you can find that on the internet within 24 hours of Celeste Rivas, within 24 hours of finding her body, she's in David's car in his name. So it's not like they had to search and figure out where this body, like what connection does this body have and this girl have. Let them find a dead body in my car, and then let them immediately, and it's an underage girl, and then let them find all kind of footage and pictures of me with this girl. I guarantee I won't be roaming the streets for 6 months. I would be in a cell within 24 to 48 hours. And we're supposed to live in a country of equality, right? The court system is supposed to treat us all equal, right? There's nobody in this chat who can honestly tell me if Celeste Rivas' body was found in my car and then they in my name, and it's all kind of footage that I've been with this girl. You can't tell me I'm not going to be locked up behind bars while they build the case. Or at least took in. Something doesn't seem right with this one, y'all. I've never seen a case where you immediately have someone who obviously knows something or is tied to it, and it takes 6 months not to get charged. Guys, it took them 6 months to name him a suspect. I want y'all to really comprehend that. Like, because even I had to really zero in on that, because there's so much going on in this case. It blinds you a little bit. Think about this. Her body was found in his car, dismembered in body bags in a car in his name. Now, if you are innocent and a body is found in your car, I am going immediately to the law enforcement myself. They're not going to have to hunt me down. If you are innocent and a dead body is found in your car, You are going to go to the law enforcement, to wherever you got to go to explain and let them know, look, I don't have nothing. I don't know where this body came from. I want to help y'all find this. I will do everything to help y'all. He didn't do that. He looked guilty immediately. I'm going to ask Miss Sweet Tooth. Miss Sweet Tooth, I'm talking to you. If someone found a unalived person in your car, aren't you going to go to wherever you got to go, to the police, to whoever, and let them know you don't know anything about it and you're willing to do anything to help catch whoever did this, and you'll have a rock solid alibi? Because if you really don't know nothing about it, you'll have an airtight alibi. David didn't do any of that. And you're telling me 6 months from finding an unalived, dismembered body in a body bag in his car, it takes you 6 months to name him a suspect? Y'all, there's nothing wrong with calling listen, when somebody is doing a horrible job, there's nothing wrong with calling it out. When you go to a restaurant and they bring out your food, you order some hot food, you order a restaurant, you order some hot food. If they bring out your food and it's cold, are you going to not complain? If they bring out the wrong, or if they take too long, are you not going to complain? So if we can complain, or let's reverse it. If you at your job take too long or don't appear to be doing your job efficiently, won't your boss, won't your company complain? Won't your customers complain? Follow me now, because I'm about to land this plane. Don't make excuses for law enforcement when your common sense tells you they're doing a terrible job. If we can complain that our steak came out cold, we damn sure can complain when it appears that you dragging your feet on a horrific case where a young underage girl was unalived and chopped up. We don't have to make excuses for them. They don't make excuses for us. With all the technology, with all the resources, with all the resources and technology we have, I'm not going for 6 months just to name somebody a suspect. Nope. I'm sorry. Thank you. Jenna Bunn said, shit, I'm at the hospital and I complain when my breakfast come late. Thank you. So are we putting more? Do we hold more responsibility on the hospital person to bring our food cold? Do we give them more responsibility than we do law enforcement, who is taking our tax dollars and dragging their feet on these cases? Let's stop making excuses, y'all. Let's call it for what it is. It's the Flow Show, No Filter, every day at 8:30 a.m. This makes no sense. I don't care. You know, Tabitha, Tabitha, one of my favorite community. Y'all know I love Tabitha. But we can't make excuses for him. We can't make excuses for him. And Tabitha, I know he got money. I know he got money for a good lawyer, but 6 months when a dead body is found in his car and he hasn't given any kind of alibi or any type of explanation, 6 months just to name him a suspect is unacceptable. How long did it take them to take OJ in? For all my old heads, and I'm only going to that case because it's one of the cases that we know. How long did it take for them to take OJ in? Did it take them did it take them 6 months to just name OJ Simpson a suspect? No. It just doesn't take that long. And my whole point to this is saying that something is just not right. David or his management or somebody has some type of connections. Either that or someone is connected to this who has huge connections. Someone may have worked with David, or there could be a bigger trafficking thing going on that they are trying to cover up. But I don't want anybody in this, any of my Flow Show No Filter. Now, everybody got a right to their opinion. You know, that's our biggest motto on this show. Everybody have a right to their opinion. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. Anybody could be wrong. We're not in the grand jury. We're not in the law enforcement office. We're not on the scene. But I don't want anybody in here to cut slack on this. 6 months. I'm talking about 6 months, and they just for a suspect, just to name him a suspect. It's doing a terrible job to me. And I don't want to cut slack on stuff like that. I can't cut slack. I've covered too many cases. And y'all know I'm one of the biggest celebrity news people on all social media platforms. I've covered cases with people with, most of the cases I cover are with people with money. I've never seen anything like this. He ain't got more money than Diddy. He ain't got more money than R. Kelly. I've covered too many cases. I've never seen nothing like this, y'all. I'm just being honest with y'all. You know, I give it to you straight. I've seen people with more money than David. So I think it's a combination of having a little bit of money for sure, but I really feel in my heart of hearts, there is some type of connection, some type of nefarious situation going on that's deeper than we know. And that is the issue. Lazy Boy says, sounds like there's a deal in place. I've never seen it. You talking to somebody, y'all, remember, you talking to somebody who covers celebrity, criminal cases and stories for a living. At this point, I've covered hundreds and hundreds. I've worked tirelessly on this stuff. If I'm telling you I've never seen it before, believe it. I've seen them all. I've seen all kind of money, murder trial, sexual assault, violation, great, all of it. This is the very first time I've seen something like this. And that's just being honest. I am baffled. And I do say like this, money works both ways. Money just don't work one way. Money works both ways. And I know what somebody's saying. Flo, what you mean money work both ways? What I mean by that is, just like you on the law enforcement side want to take 6 months just to name him a suspect, and then I don't know how much longer it may take if he's charged. We could be looking at 9 months. Who knows how long? But just like the law enforcement will try to let us try to get us to understand that they are taking their time because this guy has money. You do also know that he's free as a bird, and there's a lot of tracks he can cover with that money. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I mean by that. It's a two-way street. So if you want to take a year to charge a man when you already have enough, you have mountains of evidence, you are also giving him a year to use that same money that you're worried about. Do you know how many tracks and how many people can be paid off in a year of someone with money, free as a bird, with him and his manager and whoever else is involved for a year? By the time you bring charges to him after a year, the whole fucking case could be wiped clean. Exactly. There's power behind it. There is power behind it. But at the end of the day, it goes like this, y'all. I want to ask the people that saying they're being careful, because Jenna Bun, when they brought your hospital food out, would you care if they said, well, it came out cold and late because we were being careful? My thing is, my bullshit meter is up. To the ones that saying they're being careful, you give me a timeline. How if they take 5 years, is that too long? 4 years, 3 years? You guys put it in the chat, because I'm being straight honest with y'all. I'm not buying the careful shit. I think 6 months with today's technology is more than enough time if you are putting the necessary resources to get to the finish line to this guy. There's not but so much you could be looking into. But that's me. I'm asking y'all, the ones who are saying that they're being careful, what is your timeline? Because at some point, you got to say this bullshit. So what is it? Is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Give me a timeline where you will finally say, this don't make no sense. I'm curious. Put it in the chat. 6 months and you're just not naming a suspect is too long to me, with all the resources and all the technology we got there. But I'm curious for those out there in the chat who say they're just being careful, what would be too long for y'all? So Tabitha said there's no timeline. Okay. I would well, if that's the case, we should never put pressure on any when it comes to murder. If this is the case, We should never put pressure on them. If our thinking is there's no timeline, no, and you got to think, we're not just talking about murder. We're talking about an unaliving where the suspect is, first of all, a child, a missing child. And second of all, the child was found in someone's car who hasn't even been questioned for real. But if there's no timeline, then there's no point of us ever holding anybody accountable. Do you know how much the system would love this answer by Tabitha? They would love for us, everybody, to think like that. So if something happened to one of my family members or your family members, the rule of thumb is there's no timeline. I can't live in that world. I can't live in that world. But how are you putting pressure? You can't have it both ways. You can't put pressure and say there's no timeline. You can't do both. What are you putting pressure for? Why would you put pressure? They're working on their own time. Pressure comes because you feel like something should be done at a certain time frame. Pressure isn't just to put pressure. Because if you're just putting pressure, then you're just in the way of the investigation. When we putting pressure, we saying something needs to be done and something needs to be done now. That's pressure. But pressure just to say, hey, I'm putting pressure, but also you can take however long you want. No, not going to do it. Not going to stand for it. And that's not my job. My job is to call them out when they need to be called out. Other than that, we wouldn't hold anybody accountable. We can't just give people, they don't do that to us. We don't perform at our job at a certain level. We got problems. I'm not going to let the system trick us and force us to cut slack. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. To not even question him, to not detain him. Come on, y'all. Are you telling me because he got money, they can't detain him and question him? Because he has money, they can't even detain and question this guy. So as they take time, and let's say we're a year later, don't have an outcry. Don't be shocked if they have no evidence, because that money is covering up a lot of evidence, paying off a lot of. There's probably footage. There's probably damaging footage that's being bought. There's probably damaging witnesses who are paid off. Who knows? But on the Flow Show, No Filter, our job and my job is I approach every case as if it was me. And if this was your loved one, if this was a child of your family or your daughter or your this or your that, there's not a person in here that would be sitting back saying, oh, okay, this is cool. You just take your time and take how long as you want. No. And so that's how I approach it. I approach it as if Celeste was my daughter or my niece. And if she was my daughter or my niece, I would be kicking and screaming and calling out bullshit right now. I wouldn't be sitting back twiddling my thumbs saying, I know you got footage of him with her. I know you got money and this and that. So just take your time. I'll be at home or work, just waiting. I wouldn't be doing that. So I can't do it. That's how I covered cases from the beginning, and that's how I continue to cover cases as if that is mine. And I don't think anybody would think that this timeline fits if that were their family member. I just don't believe it, and I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. And I'm very curious to see how it plays out. At some point, we are going to find out what is really going on. Because the truth always comes to light. All I'm saying is there is something extra going on here. Out of 1,000 cases, this is the only one where it is playing out like this. Something, and I don't know what that something is. I don't know. I have no clue what that something is. But this isn't just your old plan. If I was to guess, I think there's a bigger trafficking situation going on that David is a part of. And they, whoever he is working with or whoever else is involved, has strong connections. That's what I think. It's just my opinion. But I think this is a bigger trafficking situation than just Celeste. And I think whatever this bigger situation is, that is where I think the connections are coming in. That's just my opinion. Good morning, Sharon. Real quick, also, thank you. I want to shout out my Buzzsprout subscriber. If you're listening to this podcast on Apple or Spotify or any of the major audio podcast platforms, if you want to keep this show on those platforms, we need more subscribers. Please subscribe in the Buzzsprout link that is in the notes. If you're listening to this on your phone or your laptop or your computer, look in the show notes and you'll see the Buzzsprout subscription link, and I'll shout you out and you'll help keep the lights on and keep this podcast going. Right now, I want to shout out Amber. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber on Buzzsprout. Obviously, you listen to this podcast on Apple or Spotify. I don't know which one, but Amber, and then your last name is Sharesa. I'm sorry, I don't even want to say it because I don't want to mess it up. But Amber, last name Shareysa. Let's all shout out Amber for becoming a new subscriber and helping to keep the lights on. And we need to get our Buzzsprout subscriptions up, guys, to keep this podcast flowing on Apple and Spotify. So please look at the show notes and do like Amber and become a new subscriber, help keep the lights on, and I will definitely shout you out on the show. Also, got some fan mail that I want y'all to help me out real quick, and then we gonna get back into this David mess and this Tupac mess. Now, I need y'all to tell me what she means, what this person means. Okay, she says, or he or she says, morning flow. Have you seen the coverage from TYT that touches on a 16-year-old girl that writes about who and what she endured during her time of abuse? Now, I don't know what this person is talking about, TYT. So let me say it again. Morning flow. Have you seen the coverage from TYT that touches on 16-year-old girl that writes about who and what she endured during her time of abuse? Also, she lists names and they share them on this episode. What I enjoyed most is the two reporters on here, one being female and the other being male, are mimicking flow. They are putting them all on blast with no filter. They even touch on the they even touch on the you and I both shared about the executive parties coming together. Such a heinous crime, and I do like it. Do you know what she's talking about on when this person says, have you seen the coverage from TYT that touches on a 16-year-old girl that writes about who and what she endured? If you know what you mean by TYT, well, it says TYT, but maybe she meant TBT. Maybe she meant truth be told, huh? Yeah, it says TYT. Maybe this person meant TBT. Well, thank you for the fan mail. What's the name? This comes out of Kirkwood, Mississippi, Kirkwood, Missouri. If you can kind of, if someone can find out, maybe she's talking about truth be told. The person who wrote this fan mail, if you could send another fan mail and kind of explain what is TYT. Did you mean TBT? And then I'll definitely give my thoughts and dive into it on the next show or the next time you give it to her. Okay, TYT. Okay, so there's a TYT podcast. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you for this long time listener for bringing that up. I'm gonna check out TYT. I'm not familiar with them, but if somebody in my community, usually other people that you guys in this community that you other people that you like, I normally like them too. So I'll check out TYT and the story of this 16-year-old. I haven't heard it, but I'll definitely check it out. What's going on, Renee? I ain't seen you in the chat. So, the David situation. Let's wait and see how it turns out. 6 months is a long time just to name a suspect. They got me worried. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm worried about this one. But nevertheless, we will continue to cover it. We will stay on their ass. No Diddy. And we'll continue to put pressure, hold them accountable, and telling them when they're doing a horrible job and also telling them when they're doing a great job. Now, before we get out of here, no way we couldn't go over this article real quick. The New York Post is reporting that Sean Diddy Combs could be dragged back into the spotlight as bombshell witness in Tupac Shakur's murder trial. Controversial jail hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs could be wanted as a key bombshell witness in the upcoming murder trial of rap rival Tupac Shakur. LA criminal kingpin Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who is facing life in prison after being charged by Clark County prosecutors with the murder of the iconic artist in 1996, believes Diddy could be one key voice in helping him walk free. The source said Davis' lawyer is confident Diddy would support gang boss Davis' defense, that his multiple confessions to overseeing Pac's deaths were all lies to achieve fame and fortune. Dwayne has made his feelings clear. If Diddy is a witness or makes a statement denying that he told cops that helps him hugely. Another factor is that this case will be a jury trial, and there's a suspicion that celebrities are often seen preferentially. So if Diddy backed up this story, it would help immensely. Davis has long alleged Combs offered $1 million to unalive Tupac. Davis gave Los Angeles police officers a lengthy interview confessing to being involved in Tupac's murder near the Las Vegas Strip. Davis said the murder was payback after his nephew Orlando Anderson was beaten by Tupac, Suge Knight, and other LA gangsters. Davis, high-profile lawyer Michael Pandulo, believes if given a chance, Combs will call Keefe a liar and insists he made a bunch of claims up. Diddy is currently serving time for 2 counts of mankind. Now, I don't understand that. But anytime you get a chance to get Diddy to testify and give statements under oath, no matter what the intent is, Tupac could be on his way to get justice. Because if they drag Diddy in there and testify, who knows what the prosecution is going to bring up. Now, the defense, they have their angle. They feel like if Diddy tells the court that Keefe D is a liar, they feel like that may help Keefe D. But remember, when we're talking about court cases, there is a prosecution and a defense. And just like what you feel like in the defense, what you feel like the defense may use in their favor, you never know how the prosecution will use Diddy testifying in their favor. Call it a hunch. But I honestly believe this Tupac Keefe D case is going to be a wild one. I believe it's going to be one of those cases where you don't understand, like someone's going to get on that stand and spill some fucking beans. One of those cases where there's going to be a witness that's going to say some jaw-dropping stuff that's going to be like, whoa. Because think about it. This Tupac unaliving has only been covered in the media and in social media and in barbershops and beauty shops. But it's a whole different ball game when you get in trial. And Keefe D don't have Diddy money. Keefe D probably only got flow money. I don't know what Keefe D got. But I don't think Keefe D got the kind of resources to put shit in the game, let's just say. And so I'm looking forward to this case. Do y'all know, without me looking up, Tabitha said when Diddy get out of jail, he ain't gonna have no money. Hell no. What he sure won't. Tabitha, he sure won't. When is this Keefe D? Do y'all know? I could look it up real quick. When is the Keefe D trial? Let's when is the Keefe D trial? Do you know in the chat, or you find it before I find it, so I can make that announcement so we can look out for it? When does the Keefe D Tupac trial start? August 10th, 2026 is what it says here. We got some time, but time moves fast, so we will be there before we know it. Y'all, let's check it out. Another good show. Thank y'all for coming in. Let's get the I'm outs in the chat, and let's drop the C-Tuck theme music. Give me my, what did Deion Sanders say? Give me my theme music.
it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, baby. Giving you these thoughts, views, and opinions, making sure backsides covered, no Diddy. Shout out to the Wake and Bakers and the Coffee Crew. From YouTube to Spotify, I love all my subscribers. Can't forget about the trolls in the comments. Thank you for putting extra eyes on the content. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in.
And as always, I love y'all, but I'm